Oh boy. Well, here it is. There it is. Here they're gonna autopsy his spine. Can't believe Mitch McConnell outlived Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham's he gone. Statement from the office of U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina. The office of U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham released the following statement. On the evening of Saturday, July 11th, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Senator Graham's family appreciates prayers at this time and asks for privacy during this incredibly difficult period. Oh, boy. Damn. That's crazy. That's wild. Didn't see this one coming. I thought chat was trolling me. I was on my gaming stream and I was getting ready to go to bed because I got softball on today. And then I go on Twitter and I'm like, oh, he's actually dead. He's dead. He's dead for real. He's out of there. Wait till Mitch McConnell hears about this. Oof. Things aren't going well. Damn. Things aren't going well for MAGA. Not at all. And like the establishment that still exists within it. Not the best of news coming in here for all that, especially now that we got like midterms coming up and elections and stuff. Well, that's not good. Lindsey Graham, key ally of Donald Trump, has died. That's crazy. He's just fucking dead now. Republican senator had served in the Senate since 2003. Good. Yeah, it's about time. But listen, we need term limits anyways. Guy's an absolute like demon. Literal demon. This is the best news that we've had in a long time. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham, a key ally of Donald Trump, has died. He's just fucking dead now. He just turned 71. Graham's death will send shockwaves through Washington. They're gonna be shockwaves in the morning, guys. Even the stars. He served in the Senate since 2003, representing South Carolina and mostly Israel. Yep, mostly Israel, maybe a little bit of South Carolina, occasionally. On the evening of Saturday, July 11th, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham passed away from a brief and sudden illness. His office said in a statement, Senator Graham's family appreciates prayers at this time and also wants thoughts. So if you guys have any thoughts or prayers, but also asks for privacy. That's not, I mean, what are you nuts? Graham, a retired Air Force colonel who specialized as a military lawyer and also Israel cuck, was known as a hawk who supported the Iraq war and every war that ever existed ever. Like if there was a war, he liked it. He long urged military action in Iran, right? Like I told you, if there's a war, if there's if bombs are away, Lindsey Graham's going. They say bombs away, Lindsey Graham on the ground with a briefcase. He has been one of Trump's most outspoken defenders of the current conflict. Oof. Obviously. He ran for president in 2016, was a sharp critic of Trump then, and said that if, I think he said, like, what if we had Trump become president? That'd be the end of it. He's out of there. Lindsey Graham. He's dead. This is wild information. This comes in at 2 a.m. Well, it actually came in about 1 a.m. This is wicked. Dropside News, Senator Lindsey Graham is dead. Who had Lindsey going before Mitch in the pool? Nobody. Anyone put that on Polymarket? Everyone's probably still sleeping. I don't sleep, so I'm up for this stuff. We're just ready to go. A lot of people thought it was fake on my Facebook. Posted it out. Lindsey Graham will go down as one of the most bloodthirsty and sadistic senators in U.S. history. That's an understatement. Disgusting. So you already, so Lindsey Graham is fucking dead, and no proof of life. I mean, Laura Loomer, she sucks, but she's an insider when it comes to MAGA. No proof of life for Mitch McConnell either. Help. That's 2 senators. That's 2 senators. Shocking and out of nowhere. A lot of conservatives have ample criticism for Graham. He was a war hawk who always seemed, for whom it was always the day after 9/11. I mean, he's just a piece of shit. You see, he's just not a good person whatsoever. Is this true? Well, it's the official account. Why are you asking if it's true while sharing also, like, Carrie Lake? My sources say Lindsey Graham is stable. Please God. Thank you for all your stop. I don't care. Like, listen. Lindsey Graham's support for Ukraine was not like just cause. I mean, it didn't mean anything. What in the hell going on right now? Test your shit. Fentanyl's no joke. Damn. Yeah, immediately Ben Gvir made a statement. Of course. Today, Israel lost one of its greatest friends. Of course. Israel's greatest ally. Where's Ben Gvir's, what's his Twitter account? Yeah. There you go. Bad day for Ben Gvir in Israel. Israel lost one of its greatest friends. Senator Lindsey Graham stood with Israel, not because it was easy, but because it was hard. Right, head ass. Shut up. He believed it was right. More like he got money. And you guys had all types of Mossad intel that would make him not be able to turn against Israel ever. But also he liked that. I mean, it wasn't like a bad deal for him because he loved it. His unwavering support, courage, and moral clarity earned him the admiration of millions of Israelis. Israel loved him. The state of Israel will always remember his friendship and unwavering support and his steadfast commitment to Israel's security. Grindr is saved? Damn. Yeah, everybody, you guys can, if you use the Grindr app, you can safely browse again without worrying about Lindsey Graham being on there. Heartfelt condolences to his family and to the American people. May his memory be a blessing. Damn. Funeral food be so good, I'd be forgetting who the fuck died. Damn. Oh, is that a corgi in the chat? Wow, dancing corgis? Dang. Dude. Do we need to smoke that? Chat, we need to... Bro, honestly. Yo, like, I feel like I'm not, like, as excited as we should be about this news. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I don't want to be, is this real? Type shit. People will be like, is this real? This shit's crazy. Either way. Lindsey Graham is burning in hell right now. All right, he is in the hottest layer of hell possible. I just want to assure you that this is one of the greatest days ever. This is one of the best days ever. I'm gonna have a great fucking Sunday. I want you guys to understand that this is amazing news. You guys should not feel bad for 2 minutes. Not even 1 second. Not even 1 second feeling bad for Lindsey Graham. Nah, I'm not high. I'm not high enough. We're just getting started. We're just smoking that Lindsey Graham right now. He is gone. That's crazy. And we're going to do the same thing when Mitch McConnell goes, too. At least when we get the official news. You know, Mitch McConnell's on brain support, apparently. But it's time, dude. Hey, smoke some of that Lindsey Graham. The guy was an absolute monster. Absolute disgusting. Even his Ukraine support was gross, too. Like, the way he did it. It was all gross. A gram for gram. A gram for gram. See what else we got. Who else? Coming out. A Washington Post. Oh, I don't want to subscribe to them. BBC. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham dies after brief and sudden illness. His office said. U.S. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has died following a brief and sudden illness. His office has released a statement saying he died on Saturday evening. Senator Graham's family appreciates prayers. He was elected to the Senate in 2002. A South Carolina politician, was one of the Washington's most influential voices for Donald Trump. He became a Trump dick suck. Graham also served as chairman of the Senate Budget Committee. He was just in Kyiv, actually. He just met Ukraine in Kyiv. Graham was a strong proponent of U.S. support for Ukraine. Don't care. That doesn't... Listen, some people would play that game and be like, well, at least you support Ukraine. I don't care. Don't care. Don't care, especially if you're a fucking absolute piece of shit. In everything else you do. Anything you were plaguing support. Like people that would visibly see you shaking hands with Zelensky in Ukraine like you just did and be like, ew. That was the response from like most people. It was like, ew. Gross. I wish that didn't happen. Well, it won't happen anymore. Yeah, that was his last visit. That's your last visit, buddy. Here we go. Emergency personnel responded to a call for cardiac arrest at Lindsey Graham's Capitol home on Saturday night, according to a police scanner obtained by NBC News. Photographs reviewed by NBC News showed that paramedics carried a person on a stretcher from Graham's home. Oh, boy. He just came back from Ukraine. Responded for a call for cardiac arrest. Photographs reviewed by NBC News show that paramedics carried a person on a stretcher from Graham's home to an awaiting ambulance. Police cars and fire trucks were also on site. His death comes as fellow Republican Mitch McConnell also is like half dead. After paramedics responded to a call to known residents last month for him also experiencing cardiac arrest. What the hell's going on? The heck's going on in the establishment Republican elderly club? They hang out in the same plot at the same place. Uh-oh. Interesting. Everyone's just getting cardiac arrest over there in the Republican Party. That's wild. Lindsey Graham, what the heck? This was him, literally. Well, now we don't get Holden Blood Feast memes. That was it. Holy shit. What is Israel gonna do? Mayor, it's on Associated Press. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham has died. Okay, so there's a lot of people that are like, is it real? It's real. Member of the U.S. House in the 90s. So this dude's been in the government forever. He's exactly the problem. Not only is he just a piece of shit, but he's also the problem in the government anyways. Fuck him. He's one of the forever politicians that are just a fucking absolute problem. The problem. He backed policies aimed at isolating the country and limiting its missile nuclear programs. He also cheered on Trump's decision to strike nuclear. He's anything to any war in the Middle East. He's down. Yep, that's why the Holden blood feast memes. That was Lindsey Graham. Please God, can we just nuke Iran before I die one more time? Well, he got his wish. We didn't get to nuke him, but he got to go to war before he died one more time. He also cheered on Trump's decision, blah, blah, blah. The sparse statement by Graham's office, which should not explain his death, comes during a stretch of concern about a lack of transparency about lawmakers' health. Yeah, what the fuck's going on? Representative Tom Keene, a New Jersey Republican, was absent without explanation for months before returning to Congress and disclosing that he had been diagnosed with depression. Then you got Mitch McConnell, a Kentucky Republican. You know, he's basically he's cooked. And he's done. So any day now there. And then now Lindsey Graham out of nowhere. Did not see this one coming. No one was tracking Lindsey Graham like as if his health was not well or something. Like again, he was just in Kyiv. He was just in Ukraine he just did a visit with Zelensky. Crazy. Gave a statement about NATO summit. So, I mean, that's regardless, like, yeah, I mean, I'm not upset that I'm not upset. But I mean, for him to go from, like, he didn't have problems, it seemed. He's 71. However, I mean, it's, you know, something's fishy going on. Something's going on, I think. Just a lot, and then it's just like I don't know the end goal. Mike Lee. My heart is heavy upon learning of the passing of my friend and colleague, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. My prayers are with his family. I mean, I guess I didn't see. Did he look like shit with Zelensky? Well, I mean, Mitch McConnell's been a shell of himself forever.
Long time no see.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Happy to see you.
You.
How are you?
Good. Older.
Good.
Older.
Older.
But no wiser. Good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you. Thank you for coming, Lindsey.
It doesn't look like he's just dying or whatever.
Yeah.
Looks the same old Lindsey Graham sloth.
Yeah, I think that we have to
Announce.
Hold on.
I'm pleased to announce, as of about 30 minutes ago, we've reached agreement with the White House on a version of the Russian sanctions bill that they will support. It means it's going to become law. So when I get back to Washington, I'm going to go with Senator Blumenthal to the Republican and Democratic leader to see if we can find time to move this Russian sanctions package that would give tools to President Trump to help end this war.
And Trump doesn't care, obviously. Just a waste of time.
In terms of drone warfare, really one of our
The road to ending this war, the road to peace, passes through Beijing more than it does Washington.
That's why. That's exactly. He's just so fucking useless. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever. He's dead. He's dead. I'm looking at this for signs of like not doing well. Just like, you know what I mean? I was just looking for signs of, oh, you know, like any day now or something, or he was failing. It's just an absolute useless on all levels. Jennifer Jacobs. Wow, a CBS News White House reporter follows me. That's nice. Republican Lindsey Graham died on Saturday following a brief and sudden illness. His office said in a statement he had just traveled to Ukraine, as I just showed you guys. I support Ukraine, but no, I don't support Lindsey Graham, whatever. At all. I hated his support for Ukraine every time. Walking a little funny there, didn't it?
Thanks for your patience, everyone.
Just
Sorry.
limping. Maybe he wasn't doing well.
I'm pleased to announce
I don't know. Kind of sagging. One of he slurred a little bit of his words too. Maybe he was. They just take stimulants and hide it the whole time. Well, the bill ain't gonna happen now. I love serving with Lindsey, and I will miss his infectious laugh. Ew. Please, God. I don't care if I'm the only stream today that absolutely shits on Lindsey Graham. I'm not even gonna pretend to like, oh, we need to. If you watch any streams today that are gonna like even go, guys, today we need to not say anything. We need to have peace today. Absolutely stop. If they're gonna die of natural old age causes, it is what it is. It ain't political violence. Is Mother Nature political violence? Lindsey Graham was just in Ukraine a day ago before his death. That's so crazy. Yeah, more emergency personnel responded to a call for cardiac arrest at Lindsey Graham's Capitol home on Saturday night, according to a police scanner. Do we have the Lindsey Graham stream up? There's gotta be live coverage out there. Did you guys see what happened to Ro Khanna? Getting messed with in the West Bank by the settlers. Yes, Lindsey Graham died before Mitch McConnell. Spam liking every Lindsey Graham death post. His absence immediately makes the world better. Maybe Scott Jennings could get Lindsey Graham on the phone to confirm the death of Lindsey Graham. There you go. That's the one. I talked to him for 20 minutes. He's good. So really only have an NBC News source on seeing the paramedics there.
We have just learned in the last few moments that Senator Lindsey Graham from the state of South Carolina has died at the age of 71. His staff said in a brief statement posted to social media just late tonight that the senator suffered.
How about, listen, if you're Republican and you're like sad about this, how about you don't have forever politicians that are old? How about that? Yes, for sure. There could be something weird going on, and I'm not gonna discount that. How about that? I won't discount that. I'm not gonna take that away, because for sure it's like, hey, one for sure, but there's like multiple now. And Lindsey Graham's came out of nowhere, it seems. I don't know. Maybe you can pick apart the meeting with Zelensky and find signs. That would be what you'd have to do. But, brother, I mean, they're all fucking elderly. They're all in there. They're all dinosaur old. So he's been in the government for my whole life, before my life. No, in the 90s, yeah, before I was born. So, and most of them have been in there from before I was born. I turn 33 next week. So at the same time, it's like they're old, but also I won't discount there could be something weird. The fact that it's just like not just one, right? It's like, but again, Mitch McConnell though he's been public. Like, for example, in interviews, he'll just short circuit and stop responding, or like completely like in the middle of a press conference and just stand there awkwardly. There's got to be videos. All right, here's Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell freezing. Wow, just a second. Here you go. This was like 2 years ago. So that's why it's like, Mitch McConnell's been failing. Like, mentally? Like,
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
look at our government type shit. So, you know what I mean? But like, Lindsey Graham didn't seem he was at that stage yet. And this was 2 years ago. Mitch has been on, I don't know what the fuck, prednisone XL, double XL for years now. Just fucking holding them together with Palantir technology or something probably. They have the Neuralink in Mitch McConnell. And they've been using Palantir tech, just absolutely keeping him going. Hit Mitch McConnell with the wish from Obsession. I wish he would just keep going forever. So, anyways, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know. It is certainly, like, again, Lindsey Graham's old. He's 71, not the oldest, but it certainly is like not something people were expecting to happen. You know what I mean? A lot of people aren't gonna be upset, but don't discount that people won't be upset for that. This, what we gotta kind of figure out, like, what the fuck happened here, or like if there's evidence that he was hiding his health from the public or whatever, which most of them are doing now, including Trump, obviously.
Lindsey Graham from the state of South Carolina has died at the age of 71. His staff said in a brief statement posted to social media just late tonight that the senator suffered from a brief illness and then passed away. This was unexpected.
Like, how brief? It's Friday. He was just in Kyiv. He was just there.
Time member of,
like, the illness, he had a 24-hour illness and he's fucking dead. Or what? Or 12-hour illness? This illness had to have just happened, or what?
Congress.
And then if what type of illness? Because did he infect the president of Ukraine then? Was he a bioweapon in Kyiv, or what happened? Like, because that's something I'm sure the Ukrainian leadership's looking into now. What illness?
First elected to the House of Representatives in 1992.
How long did he have that shit going?
South Carolina senator since 2003, elected to the
He's mostly been Israel senator. All right.
Senate in 2002, 4 nearly full terms in the Senate. But 71-year-old Lindsey Graham, who was once a very strong critic of then candidate Donald Trump,
he was a candidate until it was obvious Trump was going to win, and then he became a cuck. Like, it was up.
Staunchest allies in the Senate of President Trump, and has backed him both terms that President Trump has served in the Oval Office.
So we are just learning this information tonight, that late tonight, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina died at the age of 71. What this means now heading into the midterm elections will all be determined in the next several days. We've still not heard from the White House tonight. This is just information that is coming in the last few minutes. So as Lindsey Graham was a frequent guest,
They'll just start bombing Iran or something in his memory, or they'll start more Middle Eastern war stuff.
Monday morning talk shows, we expect we will hear much reaction.
Lindsey Graham's dead. $13 trillion to Israel. Stat.
Next few hours.
And control of the Senate is a big question heading into these midterm elections. The state of South Carolina, if they need to fill a seat in the
But this is one of Israel's strongest warriors, chat. Like, this is truly like this is a blow to Israel for sure, because a pro-Israel candidate likely won't replace him on either side. Like, I don't know, even a right wing, because I don't know how he's just, these type of candidates like him and Mitch McConnell just win now. But now they don't, now that those districts aren't going to have this comfortable forever candidate that they've got to vote for. And now shit's going to get interesting. So I feel like, I don't know, this is room for, if you're like a political influencer or whatever, Mitch McConnell's district and now Lindsey Graham's district are probably areas you're going to want to go to and talk to people and be like, Lindsey Graham literally only existed for Israel. Why did you keep voting for him or something? I don't know. I don't think a Republican will win though. We'll see. Maybe they will. Not if they don't do well. If you put a spotlight on it, they won't, because it'll be embarrassing. I mean, because if he's a forever candidate because the replacements are embarrassing. That's why. It's usually always like that. They're embarrassing as fuck. Like, and he's just the establishment. So now you're gonna have a non-establishment Republican, which usually don't do well. They usually don't do well at all, unless they're an outright full-on MAGA. I don't know, but interesting. That's gonna get interesting now when it comes to midterm elections coming up. I'd like to see how that does affect that. I guess we'll find out in the coming days.
Appointed by the governor, Republican Henry McMaster. We will figure those things out in the coming days and weeks. But again, Lindsey Graham, senator of South Carolina, dead at the age of 71.
He's gone. He's out of there, chat. That's it. Lindsey Graham. He's fucking dead. New York Post just did that. There you go, Adam Mockler.
All right, everybody. Wow. We just got some wild and unexpected news in the middle of the night. 71-year-old Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina has suddenly and officially been pronounced dead via his own social media accounts, citing a brief and sudden illness. This is only 24 hours after Senator Lindsey Graham was in Ukraine. He had just traveled back to the United States and has now died due to a brief and sudden illness. Don't get this mixed up with Senator Mitch McConnell from Kentucky, who has also not been seen for 25 days. He has been hospitalized.
I posted this into my chat, and then one of our mods was like, "Oh, I was expecting that to happen any day." I'm like, "No, that's Mitch McConnell. This is Lindsey Graham." And I get it though, because it's like Republican elderly chud. It's like they're all the same, right? I get it though.
And when I saw this post from Senator Lindsey Graham, I rubbed my eyes for a second because I thought I was reading something about McConnell. I was confused, but the fact of the reality is Lindsey Graham has now passed away. The statement from the office of the U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina says this: the office of U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham released the following statement. On the evening of Saturday, July 11th, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Senator Graham's family appreciates prayers at this time and asks for privacy during this difficult period. Now, within minutes of this post going out at 1:02 a.m. Central Time, we got a post from Ben-Gvir, one of the foreign ministers of Israel.
And I read that one to you guys. So right away, Israel's greatest warrior. 0 elected Democrat officials will say anything negative about Lindsey Graham. I mean, stop it. He's a terrible person. It's good to celebrate the death of Lindsey Graham. Honestly, let's not do that. That's what I was saying. Anyone trying to like play that game? Stop it.
Okay, I did not see this one coming. Lindsey Graham has died. While we are all waiting to see if Mitch McConnell is dead or alive and if Donald Trump will kick the bucket any day soon, the one person that dies is Lady G, so... Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. MS Now just posted, I guess. There you go.
And good evening, I'm Richard Louie, and we come on the air with some breaking news this hour for you. The Republican senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, has died at the age of 71 years old. In a statement posted on X by his office, it says, on the evening of Saturday, July 11th, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Senator Graham's family appreciates prayers at this time and asks for privacy during this incredibly difficult period.
Like, you only have reverence for good people. Lindsey Graham is not.
Again, that breaking news coming into us. Senator Graham, Lindsey Graham, dead at the age of 70.
People are going to try to gaslight you and be like, you can't do that. You should do that no matter what. Lindsey Graham is a demon. Not anymore. Because he's dead now. He's fucking dead.
Eric, you are obviously in the middle of the night there. How did you learn the news, and what are you hearing?
I literally got a text notification from my roommate / fellow reporter Pablo Manriquez. He said that Lindsey Graham just died, and I responded by saying a word that I can't say on television. And what immediately I'm just trying to put together and process is that Senator Graham is, obviously one of 53. This comes at a time when the Senate is in kind of a state of flux. They were on recess these last 2 weeks, but now, or last week and a half, but it also comes when Senator McConnell has been having health issues. So Republicans really might be down to 51 seats.
Oof.
And also, I think what I would say is that Republicans have lost somebody who could kind of talk some sense into President Trump. He was literally in Ukraine, as Alex said earlier, to discuss legislation on Russian sanctions. President Trump, of course, is not that big of a supporter of Ukraine, and this was something that he was trying to get across the finish line. Senator Graham
maybe the administration had him killed for that or something.
was also somebody who kind of served as an intermediary between Senate Majority Leader John Thune and Senator and the White House. So it really is kind of this breakdown. On top of that, I think the other thing that's interesting to me is that Senator Graham was President Trump's biggest supporter when it came to the Iran war. Graham was a military hawk, and he made no apologies for it at a time when the Republican Party was really trying to figure out what it believed in foreign policy.
Well, he's done now. I spoke with Senator Graham on Friday by phone. He had been thrilled with what he had said was long sought White House support for his plan to put tariffs on purchasers of Russian oil, pressure that he'd hope would help Ukraine. Wow. In his final moments, he truly made sure he was doing the absolute fucking least. Joke. The old guard is going down. Calls to Nikki Haley to take his spot in the Senate. Nikki Haley? Lindsey Graham was assassinated by Ukraine via COVID vaccines being used by an Israeli on behalf of Iran. Somewhere on the internet. Someone's YouTube title. Should be the YouTube title later. Lindsey Ladybug Graham died from a fatal combination of amyl nitrate, methamphetamine, DC rent boys, xenophobia, Zionism, and a life spent in denial. Jeez, dude, these Twitter headlines are crazy. I'm just reading the Twitter headlines, guys. This is what the Twitter streets are saying. Stop it. Please stop. Please stop, Richard. Stop it. Lindsay was just happy to hold that. Organizer memes, they just had a 20-minute conversation with Lindsey Graham. I had good pizza too. Was it pizza night for everyone else? Imagine being the Republican Party and trying to hide the fact that one of your senators died to avoid holding a special election, and then totally different Republican senator died from karma, from osmosis. They're just dying. Damn. It immediately takes the Republican conference down from 53 to 52. So from an operational standpoint, you're really down to 51. Golly. They're already like, our numbers are down.
To that. Now, what does this mean in the immediate term? We don't know what this means for, replacing
cirrhosis.
It immediately takes the Republican conference down from 53 to 52 senators. Everybody has been up in arms and trying to get more information for weeks now about the state of Mitch McConnell, the former Senate Majority Leader.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on there?
As to
No clarity.
Would be back.
No transparency.
He's been going about a month now and has been hospitalized with just a very scant bit of information there.
Scant information.
So from an operational standpoint, you're down to 51 votes.
Golly.
in the Senate,
Oof.
and what they would do in terms of appointing somebody for the near term, and then what they would do in terms of down the, replacing him on the fall ballot is significant. That's probably going to be a Republican seat no matter what. I should note that Tim Scott, the other senator from South Carolina, he is in charge of the Republicans' reelection efforts. He is the chair of the NRSC, so that's something that they're going to have to work on.
Yeah, good luck. It sounded like hope. Uh-oh. There's Trump. Senator Lindsey Graham, one of the greatest people. I got to read it from. I got to actually see. I got to read the Cope Social. Oh my God, stop it. Why are there 19? There you go. From the President of the United States, guys. Senator Lindsey Graham, one of the greatest people and senators I have ever known, is fucking dead. No, but he put "is dead" in caps. He was always working and was always a true American patriot. Lindsey will be greatly missed. Details and arrangements to follow. So sad. President Donald J. Trump. Lindsey Graham was one of Donald Trump's strongest warriors, and that's it. That's the message. Holy Yo, he was one of his strongest. Are they gonna bring Erica Kirk and have sparklers? Golly. So sad. And then his name. Couldn't even like give "so sad" its own reverence with like a space. Had to put President Donald J. Trump with the "so sad." That's crazy. Lindsey Graham's dedicated his entire life now to Trump, and he doesn't even get like Trump. Look at Trump's. Look at this. He gets like 3 lines. Trump wrote some long ones last night. Jesus, look at this slop app. Slop. Look at this shit. This is horrible. Look what they did. The radical Democrats get a whole paragraph. Radical left lunatics. He wrote like a super long one. There you go. Look at that shit. Oh my God. Brother, no one's reading that. Holy shit, bro. That's so many words. Type shit. So no one's reading that. Hardworking American. So that website's gonna put a virus on my computer.
To that.
Looney Laura Loomer said 5 days ago the IRGC publicly called for Senator Lindsey Graham to be assassinated. He was traveling abroad to a war zone the last few days to try to end the war between Ukraine and Russia. He's been home for less than 1 day, and tonight his staff said he passed away from brief and sudden illness. Was he poisoned by a foreign adversary, either abroad or returning to the U.S.? There should be an investigation, especially after Iran called for his death. What do his staff mean by a sudden and brief illness? Poison? Incredible. Good reporting. Yep. That's MAGA's one of MAGA's journalists. There you go. No, Laura Loomer will get down to the bottom of it. Underneath it. Chris Jackson. He's a part of Team 46, apparently. The Senate is now effectively tied. McConnell is missing. Graham is gone. And Trump keeps pissing off Republicans like Tillis and Cassidy. You thought you couldn't get shit passed before? Just wait. Team 46 is back. McGregor ACL, Lindsey Graham, both dead within a few hours of each other. Smiling through it all. Can't believe this is my life. By the way, Conor McGregor is an absolute horrible person, guys. You know that, right? There's no reason that a guy should be getting any type of support. The demonic entity known as Lindsey Graham departed his mortal form at 71 human years old. Graham was one of the biggest warmongers in the U.S. Senate. He never wasted a moment to get on TV and promote senseless atrocities. May the ghosts of his victims haunt his soul for eternity. I like that post. That's a good post. That's a good one. Mitch McConnell's last words were, Lindsey Graham survives. Did anyone check on Scott Jennings? I'm not with you. I'm with Israel until my dying day.
All the anti-Semites, to all the isolationists, I don't believe. Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. They're the best ally we could hope for. So we have a commander-in-chief in President Trump who I think is wrong.
Well, it wasn't too long after. I'm with Israel. Oh, a lot of death around people that support that country in there. Sound like a death pit from what Israel does, but also their strongest warriors too are like all dying and shit lately. My statement on the passing of Senator Lindsey Graham from Governor Henry McMaster. Peggy and I and our children are devastated. Lindsey Graham is irreplaceable. The fiercest of fighters for South Carolina and America and Israel. And a loyal and steadfast friend. We grieve with Darlene, his family, and his devoted staff. May God hold him gently in the palm of his hand. Yo. We shall not see his likes again. Damn. You don't want to see his likes on Facebook or social media? Damn it. I hate that. We can't see his in social media. Won't see the likes of him again. He's fucking dead.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Marianne Rafferty. We're following breaking news out of Washington right now. Prominent Republican South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham has died. His office saying on social media that he died from a brief and sudden illness, but right now no additional details have been released. Graham has held his Senate seat since 2003, and he's also chaired the Senate Budget Committee and was seeking a fifth six-year term in November. He was one of the most well-known members of the chamber and also a key voice within the Party of Defense and International Affairs. Graham was fresh off a trip to Ukraine, Kyiv, Ukraine, where he had met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday. Graham has been a close ally of President Trump. He's also been considered a war hawk. He was known to be a strong advocate for an interventionist foreign policy, including military action against Iran. Graham also served in the South Carolina House of Representatives from 1993 to 95, and he then served in the U.S. House of Representatives from 1995 to 2003.
Way too long.
Graham was 71 years old. Again, if you're just joining us, we're receiving word out of Washington right now that Senator Lindsey Graham has died. Joining us by...
He's dead. He gone. Oh, Joey Mayonnaise, Mayananino, genuinely disliked Lindsey Graham, but he loved Trump, so he's cool then. That's crazy. 1 for 1, says Sprinkles. Tomorrow with Meet the Press, exclusive interviews. Oof. I don't think Lindsey Graham's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it. Meet the Press. He's fucking dead. Rocano will be there. He'll talk about the West Bank, though. They just created 1 million Lindsey Graham. Bye. I'm hearing that on his deathbed, Lindsey Graham received the light of Islam and unhesitatingly recited the Shahada. Even now, he looks down on the Ummah from the gardens of Jannah. Truly, there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. True. See, dude, if you die now, it's like no one's gonna give reverence anymore. No matter what, you're gonna become a meme. Guy, we literally just found out he died not even an hour ago. Oh God. Oh my God, dude. No way. Oh my God. They quote tweeted, they put Lindsey Graham's tweet and quote tweeted it with that. If you guys were away from the screen, I'm wondering what that was. That was from Star Wars. Lindsey Graham and Charlie Kirk fighting in hell over being in Reagan's bottom. Oh my God. Oh, this is why we can't have breaking news at 3 in the morning, dude. I'm tired of it. I'm not though. What the hell? Bring me McConnell next. Oh my God, dude. This shit is wicked. Oh my, I'm retweeting both of those. That's fine. It's canon. This is canon. This is important. People in the poly market be like, all right, what the hell?
I lost on top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball.
If you don't mind, we're on our way to a funeral.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Which old witch?
The wicked witch.
Homer.
Oh man, there's gonna be too many memes today. There's gonna be a lot of memes. The memes will be good. We will have that, so that's good at least. He's dead. Lindsey Graham died in his DC home. Literally one day ago. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. That I was looking at it for any signs of struggle, like bad. Oh boy, that's just funny as hell. Wild. So you got Mitch McConnell. Who knows what's going on with him? He was taken from his home on a stretcher. Still alive, apparently. Then you got Lindsey Graham. Same thing, but he's dead. Right? Oop, not in Ukraine. Any fresh reporting on that now? Hour ago. All right. View of the U.S. Capitol. There you go. For Lindsey Graham. AP News has a feed up. ABC 7 Chicago put a report up. I don't think they'll have anything new than what we know.
We have just learned in the last few moments that Senator Lindsey Graham from the state of South Carolina has died at the age of 71. His staff said in a brief statement posted to social media just late tonight that the senator
AP shut the chat down.
Illness and then passed away. This was unexpected.
They honestly expect people to have reverence for Lindsey Graham.
To the House of Representatives in 1992, He has served as South Carolina senator since 2003, elected to the Senate in 2002, four nearly full terms in the Senate. But 71-year-old Lindsey Graham, who was once a very strong critic
that I don't know,
candidate Donald Trump, has become one of his staunchest allies in the Senate of President Trump and has backed him both terms.
Yeah, I don't know, like, when this means there's going to be a special election or what, or like what it's going to mean for the election. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answers to that yet. We'll have to find out. It's Sunday, so we probably won't have answers until Monday, probably. I don't know. It's fucking every day there's breaking news now, or every other day now in this age. Brief illness. There's CNN's report.
We're learning that longtime Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has passed away.
He's dead.
His office says he died on Saturday night after what they call a brief and sudden illness. The statement says Graham's family is asking for privacy at this time. He represented the state of South Carolina in the U.S. Congress.
Wow, look at him as he's tearing down the Affordable Care Act. So truly, just not a redeemable person whatsoever.
Since 1995. Let's bring in CNN's Alex Michelson, anchor of The Story Is. Alex, you are on the West Coast there. How are you processing this news that has just come in, the shocking death of a senator who had just been in Ukraine and had just met with the Ukrainian president, and now we're learning he has died?
Yeah, I mean, just posted a bunch of statements onto X yesterday in his official capacity. Pictures and images of him working over the last few weeks are out there. So this coming out of nowhere, that Lindsey Graham, one of the most important and influential voices in the United States Senate for many years.
Yeah, I got jokes, but I don't know if
somebody who has been one of the biggest champions of more United States military intervention, somebody who has championed the idea of military.
He's been a genocidal terrorist maniac
for many years.
He loves all the
Somebody who's
genocides.
championed the United States relationship with Israel very closely for many years, and now all of a sudden, there's been so much conversation about Mitch McConnell's medical reality right now. Nobody would have thought this would come now. It's been an extraordinary life of public service, a controversial life. Somebody who was in the United States House of Representatives for many years, been in the Senate for many years as well, became a close ally of John McCain. And Joe Lieberman. They called themselves the Three Amigos and viewed themselves as sort of mavericks within the Republican Party. And then he ran for president in 2016 and said very negative things about Donald Trump at the time, but then would become one of President Trump's greatest allies. Just this week, posting on social media that he was the GOAT of all presidents. And has been a steering force more recently of President Trump's military intervention in Iran. There are 100 senators. Not all of them stand out.
I'm asking you guys in a poll here.
Lindsey Graham is somebody who has stood out for a long time and has been one of the most important members of that body for many, many years.
And he just turned 71. June 9th, he won the South Carolina Republican primary, seeking re-election for Senate. Nobody expected that he wasn't going to continue traveling, wasn't going to continue pushing the causes that are important to him. Although, as you mentioned,
he's just a slimy bastard. He's just gross. Like every time I'd hear him talk or see him or do anything, it'd be yuck. Like truly. I hated sharing a space that supported Ukraine with people like Lindsey Graham. And he was the exact problem in that space. Because again, guys, if you're new to my channel, I my channel supports Ukraine, not with the Republican Party. Unfortunately, a lot of the Republican Party has good influence with it, including yucky, gross fucking people like Lindsey Graham. So I had to take time to disavow him every fucking time, which would make people mad because he'd be like, "You're just being partisan." I'm like, no, it's because Lindsey Graham is a snake maniac, loser, right? And you don't want to be associated with that. You don't want to be latched onto it. I don't care. I do not care how much he supports Ukraine. And then to see that he's only really there to try to get tariffs and then direct the attention through China. Like, what are you talking? What are you doing? Just wasting time. And then it looked like nobody even showed up to his press conference. Nobody even went. It was besides the 5 reporters there and just him.
And those priorities and those causes have certainly changed over time. Some have sort of wondered, what is Senator Lindsey Graham's center? Do you think we ever really knew that?
I mean, I think one thing that you've seen over the years was that he clearly felt that an activist foreign policy, and being a champion of the military and more military intervention is something that
what colorful language from CNN. Why don't you call him what he was, that genocidal maniac? He loved anytime like the maximum amount of civilians were getting killed. He loved that. If there was a U.S. missile, he wanted more. He wanted more war in the Middle East. He loved it. More support to Israel. All that
he's been talking about for decades, especially the Iran issue. And we've seen what's happened with that in the last few months as well. But that has been sort of the criticism of Lindsey Graham over the years, what you're talking about. But what he's also been very, very adept at as a political practitioner was getting himself in a position of power and influence and kind of knowing where the winds were blowing within the Republican Party and heading there. And in the process, giving himself
more like he followed this guy sucks at analysis. I'm not sorry. He followed the winds. He was against it. So he ran against Trump, and he was voicing he was a voice against Trump back in 2016. And then he followed the MAGA. He followed the populism. He whatever would keep him in power and relevant, he'd do it. He didn't have any principles at all.
An ability to survive politically.
Survive politically by cucking to Israel nonstop forever, and whatever direction the populism of the right wing was going, he like followed it, but like he'd keep like an arm's distance from it, but like still follow it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he was against like MAGA or how MAGA took over the Republican Party. He always kept like, I'm gonna keep following him though. And then when it came to Trump, obviously he loved Trump. But the base and like where the rest of it's going obviously did not like him eventually because he's a complete Israel cuck. So MAGA base, not really a big fan of Lindsey Graham also. So you're not going to see, really, besides like boomer conservative Republicans, I don't really know too many people today that are going to feel bad about Lindsey Graham dying on all political sides of the spectrum in the United States.
To win election after election and to increase his seniority in the Senate and to have more power for the people of South Carolina. I mean, this will.
And what did he do for South Carolina? Did he do anything as a senator? For anyone in the chat from South Carolina, what did Lindsey Graham do for South Carolina? Anything?
South Carolina is a solidly Republican seat. It's hard to imagine a flipping of South Carolina, North Carolina in a bit of a different place. But it's a bit early to start talking about the political realities of what happens next, as we all, I think, are just in shock at the idea that Lindsey Graham has suddenly died. And
let's get on with it. What happens? We need to know, like, electorally, what can happen or how that works. Does he like hold that seat? Do they have to have a special election, obviously, right? Or something? Or that's the questions we need answered now. And I don't have those answers. And it doesn't seem like they are going to explore it yet. Because they're going to have to be like, we got to have like a day of reverence for Lindsey Graham or something, probably. CBS News report just came out.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Carissa Lawson at CBS News headquarters in New York.
I don't know if there will be. I got to find out.
Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina has died. His office released a statement just now that reads, on the evening of Saturday, July 11th, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Senator Graham's family appreciates prayers at this time and asks for privacy during this incredibly difficult period. The office did not provide any additional details about the South Carolina Republican who was 71 years old. Graham was elected to the U.S. Senate in 2002 and was running for a 5th term. He had been a close ally of President Donald Trump and a longtime hawk on Iran. Graham was fresh off a trip to Kyiv, Ukraine, where he met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday. Graham mounted a brief bid for the party's presidential nomination during the 2016 campaign and later was a vocal critic of Donald Trump, the eventual GOP nominee. Yet Graham became one of Trump's closest allies in office, speaking with him frequently and becoming a regular presence on the golf course alongside the president. He especially advised the president
big presence on the golf course
on foreign policy matters such as Iran and Russia, and had just announced an agreement on Friday with the Trump administration to move forward on a package of Russia sanctions. Once again, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham has died after what his office says was a brief and sudden illness on Saturday night. For more on this story, stay with CBS News, cbsnews.com.
That'll be the only thing that'll be the only thing in the news today. This will be the only thing everyone's talking about. Everyone's going to hit the Scott Jennings meme. Scott Jennings just got off a 20-minute phone call with him. At least they reported his death, unlike McConnell. Oof. Damn. Will Rainbolt laughing at Ben Gavir. Ben Gavir is an absolute terrible person as well. Damn. Are they spoken on the... We spoke on the Lindsey Graham pack earlier. Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. Satan's eating well. Satan's eating good. Lisa Minnelli has outlived Senator Lindsey Graham. Texting my friends the Lindsey Graham news like the old town crier. Yeah, but everyone's sleeping. It's crazy how we live in a reality to where people will wake up like we need some good news and this is going to be it. Given the long travel and multiple flights involved, you have to think about things like deep vein thrombosis. Things to think about. And storytelling, you want your audience focus on Mitch McConnell, wondering if he's alive and what's going on with him. And then boom, then you even see your friend Lindsey Graham, Cliff. I don't even know what that, reading that gave me a brain aneurysm. The worst person you know is furiously working on a horny text copy pasta about Lindsey Graham.
AIDS.
Lindsey Graham, 2003. I believe that's Saddam Hussein as weapons of mass destruction.
It possesses and produces chemical and biological weapons.
This is when I remember Lindsey Graham being around.
It is seeking nuclear weapons.
I believe that Saddam Hussein is giving aid and comfort, training and assistance to al-Qaeda murderers, that he has weapons of mass destruction. He is lying when he says he doesn't, and he will never voluntarily disarm. 500 inspectors, 5,000 inspectors are not going to make him disarm. He is a danger to our country and the world. He has killed his own people, and you're not going to disarm him, but diplomacy is going to take force.
So he was he was just in Ukraine. Yeah, so he was one of the reasons why we were all over the Middle East as long as we have been. He's been tied to Israel and forever wars in the Middle East, claims to be pro-life and dies. That's crazy. This meme's undefeated. While mainstream media will scrub his legacy with polite terms like maverick. Yeah, we've already heard that a few times, right? And that's why I do play this slop, right? Because I do want to show you guys how the mainstream news does report on this stuff. And yes, we have heard maverick many times now, haven't we? He was a maverick. He was a Trump. He loved Trump. He was with they had the three amigos or whatever the fuck that dude said. Let's be perfectly clear about who he was. For decades, Graham was one of the Washington's most bloodthirsty warmongers, consistently beating the drums for endless corporate-backed foreign interventions from Iraq to Iran that slaughtered millions and left the globe in ruins. There you go. That's more accurate. He capped off his career by ditching every shred of his supposed principles to become a spineless enabler of authoritarianism by shielding an insurrectionist, rubber stamping the subversion of democratic norms, and amplifying far-right extremism. Graham actively abetted the rise of American fascism. Yes, because he could, like, you know, as shitty as this is, as all this is true, there could have been a reality to where he could have at least been against the domestic rise of the fascism that you have with MAGA and shit, or where it's gone, right? And Lindsey Graham decided to go along with it. At first he was against it until he realized, oh no, MAGA actually will have power. They look like they're gonna win. Oh, I'm on their team now. He traded the rule of law for personal proximity to power. His true legacy is one of cowardice, opportunism, and devastation. We have definitely heard the Maverick, though. She did predict that one well. We've called him a Maverick on every single news report we've seen now. How it feels being a night. This is all of us right now. This is us when we have to monitor the situation. You know how many situations we've monitored at 3 in the fucking morning over the last few years? It's always 3 in the morning. This is us. There you go, POV. I found out playing Assassin's Creed, I thought Chatter was talking about Mitch McConnell. Chatter was like, I think Lindsey Graham died. And Chat was like, no, it's Mitch McConnell. I don't think he's dead yet. And like, we just kind of left it alone. And then I was like, okay, I got to go to bed because softball. And then I look at Twitter and Lindsey Graham's own account posted that he's dead. And I was like, what the He's dead as hell. Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell? Holy shit, 2 cakes. Conor McGregor tore his ACL. Lindsey Graham died within hours of each other. Lindsey Graham is finally dead. Was he a perfect person? No. Did I agree with his politics? No. Do I think he deserves respect as a human being who's passed away? Also, no. That's the energy. That's it. That's it right there. I mean, if that ain't the energy, then you're fake. If that ain't the energy when it comes to Lindsey Graham, you're being fake. Like, anyone pretending otherwise, you were literally doing, like, really, stop. Lindsey Graham. Again, that person who never saw a war he didn't like. Literally holding blood feast. He was holding blood feast, chat. Damn. LOL. This one's going to bring the country together, I think. Lucifer tweeted, so official tweet from Satan, Lindsey Graham has arrived. He's there. Is this the vibes? Oh my goodness. Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell in hell right now.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
Oh boy. That's the Lindsey Graham pack. Can Lindsey Graham also have a heart attack, please? Damn. Clocked it. What the heck? Put it in the death note. Jeez. Lindsey Graham, when he woke up and saw Mitch McConnell.
What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Wallahi, what happened? Wallahi, what happened?
Oh my god, dude. Oh, John Thune put it. Okay, that's way too many words. Trump, you're putting way more words out than Trump did, and he was like Trump's biggest warrior and loved him. Senator John Thune, who's the leader, Senate Majority Leader. My heart is heavy this morning to learn of the passing of my friend and colleague, Senator Lindsey Graham. Lindsey's long and dedicated service in the Air Force and in the Congress carried him to a far-flung regions of the world. He was wow, too many words. Who cares? That's too many. That's like 4 paragraphs, really? Senator Lindsey Graham, who was spotted this year holding an aerial bubble wand outside the tangled restrooms in Magic Kingdom in the midst of a partial government shutdown, has died. Packwatch is going crazy right now. Oh boy. Lindsey Graham spent his career trying to strip healthcare and bodily autonomy from millions and abandoning his last remaining shred of dignity to please his master, Trump. That's it. No, his legacy will be in memes, like Charlie Kirk says. He'll be a meme forever, and that's it. That's wild. So people are feeling betrayed around Mitch McConnell and not getting answers there. And now Lindsey Graham's dead. Breaking no contact to let them know Lindsey Graham is dead. This is going to be a generational 24 hours. I know. I'm excited. I have softball tomorrow, but I'm going to be refreshing my phone to read what this app's putting out. We're about to go on a generational run here. Did Netanyahu post out yet? We have lost our biggest warrior. Oh, yeah. Netanyahu posted, Sarah and I grieve with the American people, over the loss of our dear friend, Senator Lindsey Graham. In our recent meeting, I said Lindsey is a great friend of Israel and a cherished friend of mine. We have no better friend than Lindsey. Lindsey understood what the security of Israel and America are inseparable. He devoted his life to defending America, strengthening our alliance, and standing up for a free world. It's probably because this is breaking news, guys, and I saw that this is a featured stream. The YouTube's probably just cranking it. It's probably full sending. Just stick with it. Lindsey understood that the security of Israel and America are inseparable. He devoted his life to defending America, strengthening our alliance, and standing up for the free world. Israel has lost one of its greatest friends. America has lost a great patriot. I have lost a beloved friend. Oh. Our hearts are with Lindsey's family and with the American people at this difficult time. Oof. Gross. Ew. I don't know though. I think you'll have maybe boomer conservatives that will cry about this, but a lot of even, I don't know, like at least people that are right wing around my age are not fans of Lindsey Graham and are not fans of Israel either. Or outright just fucking want to end all support to Israel. Like obviously with the right wing, they'll say I'm not a fan, like it's a sports team, right? But I'm hearing more than that now. I'm hearing like outright end all support to Israel completely from the right wing. And so I think when it comes out in the algorithm of our social media, like today and beyond, that, hey, he was a big Israel supporter, because for some reason, Lindsey Graham always slips through the cracks of like social media and people understanding of like who supports Israel at the highest levels and shit. And I don't know, but I feel like Lindsey Graham slips through the cracks. However, his seat that he's sitting in the Senate, that'll have some extra attention on it and who will replace it. And there could be potential for somebody less supportive of Israel to take that. But all right, y'all. Hey, that's the breaking news. We don't need to stay here any longer for now. The memes are immaculate. I think I might have more news for you guys tomorrow on this. If anything, just a place for you guys to hang out and meme in the chat without MAGA chuds. I don't know. It could be fun to troll them too. That's why I kind of left the chat open, but I don't really see them here. I don't really see too many chuds in the chat. Hit the like button and subscribe, though. I'll have more. You guys, if you're new to the channel, check out my reporting we got going on. I do IRL stuff on the streets covering protests and any federal government activity on Mercado Media here. So, guys, check it out. Appreciate you guys. Get a good night's sleep, because I'm sure you're going to be tuned in to this news tomorrow. So just get some rest. Get some sleep. You don't need to monitor anything more. You guys have heard it all. Just to quickly summarize, Senator Lindsey Graham's dead, 71 years old, brief and sudden illness. He had a reported call for cardiac arrest at his home on Saturday night, and there was pictures of paramedics of him on a stretcher. And then also he had his actual official account posted it out, so there's no room for if it's a rumor or not, right? It's for sure confirmed. So Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina is dead. He's fucking dead. And that's that. Okay, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you. Take care. Bye.